Good morning, children. Today we are going to do chapter 9, the living organisms, characteristics and habitat. In this chapter we are going to learn about various types of living habitats for different types of animals and characteristics according to their habitats. You must have seen the plants which grow around your house. You must have seen babool or big trees like banyan tree, peepal tree in your locality. But if you visit a mountain region, you will not see these type of trees. You will find oaks and pines and deodar trees which are very different from the trees which are growing around our houses. Similarly, if you visit a hot desert in Rajasthan, you will find mostly the cactus growing there. The animal also that you will find there is camel. Similarly, if you visit a coastal region, you will find different kinds of trees growing there. Mostly coconut tree grows there, you know that. But do you find coconut tree growing commonly around your house or in your place? No. Coconut trees mostly grow in coastal regions. Even the climate of those places are all different. Desert's climate is different from that of a mountainous region, and coastal regions have a different kind of climate. Even animals that which are found there in these regions are different from those which we see around us. Like you have learnt earlier, polar bears, penguins, they are not found here. They are found only in the snow-covered region. There is no place on earth where you will not find any organism. They are in your house, for example, spiders, ants, cockroaches, lizards, etc. They are always found in our house. How much even if we try to drive them away, they are back. They are outside our house, on the roads, in jungle, in seas, in rivers and oceans, on the mountains, and also on snow-covered areas. Not only this, they are found in the openings of volcanoes. So, living organisms are all over on this earth. But you find different types according to the places. For example, if you walk along a sea beach, you will see crabs crawling, but you will not find a single crab in your locality. Similarly, freshwater animals are different from animals living in salty seawater. And not only animals, plants are also different in different regions. We have already learned about the adaptation of few animals such as camel and fish in the earlier classes. You know that the body structure of camel helps it to survive in desert conditions. Camels, they have long legs which help them to keep their body away from the heat of the sand. They excrete a very small amount of urine and their dung is also dry. They do not sweat, and because camels do not lose more water, they require very less water in their body, and so they can survive without water for many days. And not only this, they can also drink gallons of water whenever they get water to drink. Not like us that we at the most we can drink is 2 glasses of water, but camels can drink lots and lots of water. Similarly, you have learnt about fishes. They have a streamlined shape which helps them to move inside water. Fish, they have a slippery scale on their body. These scales protect the fish and also helps in the easy movement through water. They have fins and tails which help them to change the direction and also to keep their body balance in water. And most importantly, fish, they have gills which help them to use oxygen dissolved in water. There is a wide variety of animals and plants living on earth. All these variety of organisms, they have certain features that help them in their surroundings in which they are normally found. The presence of these specific features on their bodies or certain habits which enable them to live in the natural habitat or the natural place, this property is called adaptation. Adaptation of organisms differ depending on the places where they live. The place where the organisms live is called the habitat. Habitat means a dwelling place, their home or house. The habitat provides food, water, air, shelter, and all other things that an organism needs. Several kinds of plants and animals, they live in the same habitat. Like there are various plants which you will find in the ocean, and similarly many animals living there. So they have the same habitat. Similarly, in mountainous regions you will find many plants and animals. So those plants and animals, they have same habitat. The plants and animals that live on land, they are said to be living in terrestrial habitat. There are various types of terrestrial habitats like forests, grasslands, deserts, coastal regions, mountainous regions. All these are terrestrial habitats. Similarly, the habitats of plants and animals that live in water, they are called aquatic habitats. Lakes, rivers, oceans, all these are called aquatic habitats. There are large variations among terrestrial habitats like forests, grasslands, deserts, coastal regions, mountain regions. They are located in different parts of the world, and the animals and plants found there are of a great variety. Living things like plants and animals, they are called the biotic components of a habitat. But other than that, we have some non-biotic or abiotic components like rock, soil, air, heat, water, temperature. All these are called abiotic components of a habitat. Let's do one activity to understand how these abiotic factors are important for any living organism. Let's take some dry moong seeds and put them in sun. Will they grow into plants? No. Now take some seeds, submerge them in water. They should be completely inside the water. Keep them for a few days. Will they grow into plants? No. Because they are not getting air. So they will not grow. Now take some seeds, soak them in water, put them in freezer along with ice. Will they grow into plants? No. These will also not grow into plants because they are not getting proper heat. Similarly, put some soaked seeds in a room which is having a proper sunlight. And you will see that after these few days, these seeds start germinating into a new plant. So why do these seeds germinate? Because they got water, they got air, they got proper heat. So all these factors which we known as abiotic factors, they are important. So this activity proves that heat, water, air, sunlight, these all things are essential components for the growth of a living being. But all of these are needed in proper amount. Animals like penguins and polar bears can survive in extreme cold climate because they are adapted to those conditions. But for other animals, it will be difficult to survive in that extreme cold condition. Adaptation is the method by which organisms get well adjusted to the climate. Adaptation is a very slow process which takes place over a long period of time, and animals which cannot adapt to the changes will die. Abiotic factors also change over a very long period of time. Abiotic factors take lots of time to change, and animals need to adapt to these changes. There are some changes that can happen in an organism over a short period of time so that the organism can adjust to the surroundings. For example, suppose you go to a mountainous region or to a region which is very cold compared to the place where you usually stay. Then you will have certain difficulties. Like suppose you are in a mountainous region, you will have difficulty in breathing or doing some exercise, physical activity for few days. But after some days, your body will get adjusted to the surroundings. Similarly, suppose you move to a colder region, you will have difficulty in adjusting to the climatic conditions there, but within few days your body will adjust. So this process in which the body overcomes these small problems and adjusts to the surroundings, this process is called acclimatization. And these changes are different from adaptation. Adaptation takes place over thousands of years. Acclimatization is a very short term process. Let's now see some characteristic features of different habitats. Starting with some terrestrial habitats, the first one is desert. Deserts are very hot and dry. So, the animals like snake which live in desert, they have to protect themselves from the hot sun. They do not have long legs like the camel. So, they stay in deep burrows inside the sand. These animals come out only during the night when it is cool. Desert plants also show adaptation. They do not have leaves, so they do not lose water through transpiration. The leaves in desert plants are either absent or very small, or they are in the form of spines which look like thorns, and this reduces the loss of water from the leaves through transpiration. The leaf-like structure which is seen in cactus is actually its stem. Photosynthesis in these plants is carried out by the stem because of its green color. The stem is also covered with a thick waxy layer which helps in the retainment of water. The tissues of the cacti, they do not lose water because of this waxy substance. Most of the desert plants have roots which go very deep into the soil for absorption of water. The next habitat discussed here is mountain regions. These habitats are normally very cold and windy, and some areas also have snowfall in winters. There is a large variety of plants and animals living in mountain regions. These trees of mountain regions are normally cone shaped and have sloping branches. The leaves of some of these trees are needle like, means they are pointed at the end, and this helps the rainwater and the snow to slide off easily, otherwise the leaves will get rotten. But all the trees are not cone like in shape. Trees with other shapes are also present on mountains. They may have different kind of adaptations to survive on mountains. Animals living in mountain regions are also adapted to the conditions there because it is very cold. So these animals, they have a thick skin or fur which protects them from cold. Like yaks, they have long hair to keep them warm. Snow leopards, they have thick fur on the body. Even their feet and their toes are covered with fur. This protects the feet from cold when it walks on the snow. Mountain goats also have strong hooves for running up on the rocky slopes of the mountains. On mountainous regions, we can see different kinds of adaptations at different heights. Next type of terrestrial habitat is grassland or forest. There is a variety of animals living in grassland. Lion, deer, monkey, elephant, giraffe, frogs, snakes, birds, etc. etc. Each of these are adapted to live in there. For example, if we talk of lions, they have long claws in their front leg that can be withdrawn inside the toes. So while hunting or while tearing the flesh, they take out those claws. While walking, those claws are inside the toes. Its light brown color helps it to hide in grasslands when it hunts for prey. The eyes of the lion are in the front part of the face, which allows it to have a correct idea about the location of its prey, that how far the prey is, how far it has to run to catch that prey. Similarly, a deer is another animal that lives in forests and grasslands. It has strong teeth for chewing hard plant stems of the forest. Deer needs to know about the presence of predators. If a lion or a tiger or a hyena, if they are there nearby, the deer needs to know and needs to run fast to save its life. And for this, it has long ears to hear the movements of predators. Its eyes are on the sides of the head, which allows it to look in all directions for danger. The speed of the deer helps him to run away from the predators. So there are many other animals, and each animal is adapted to live in this forest land. Similarly, the plants growing there are also adapted to survive in that habitat.